I'm Mike, 21, born and raised in the Philippines.
Hi, I'm Celine, 18, and I'm born and raised in the Philippines.
Hey, my name is Joseph Chung. I'm 20 years old, and I'm currently a junior at UNR studying chemistry. My family, we all live in Vegas, and that's where I was born, but both of my parents are from Hong Kong.
We were raised in an average family.
Yeah, everything was simple and nothing fancy.
We're not poor, we're not rich, we're just in between.
My dad, my sister, and I moved here when I was 15.
Me and my family moved here when I was 13. Nung bata ako, lagi ako nakipaglaro sa labas, ganyan. Tapos dito, nung napunta ako dito, parang super tahimik, ganun.
Yung kalaro mo, yung computer. Diba?
Oh yeah, sabihin mo,
Nakikipaglaro
dito
sa ano,
super
sa-
tahimik. Tapos sa Pilipinas, sobrang napakadaming bata sa lansangan. At wala pa yung alarm mo, gising ka na.
Diba yung manok na yung nagigising sa'yo?
Yung manok at saka yung mga bata. Diba?
Oo, diba? Madaming
Yeah.
pupunta lang sa bahay mo para makipaglaro.
Ay,
Tapos
no.
dito wala.
Yeah, wala dito.
Oh, kasi wala ka masyadong kakilala.
Mm.
Tapos meron yung kasi noon parang hindi pa uso masyado yung mga gadgets, di ba? Kaya
Yeah.
naglalaro ka ng like mga hide and seek, ganyan.
Yes.
Yeah, tapos yung mga bahay-bahayan.
Patintero.
Patintero.
Meng.
Ano ba yun yung
Tapos sa goma pa, yung mga Chinese garter.
Chinese garter.
Tapos
pinaka-public?
sa jump rope, di ba? Yeah.
Pico, oh my gosh.
Tapos ngayon, parang bata pa lang, hawak na agad yung tablet.
Yeah, ngayon, yung, lalo na sa States,
iPad.
kasi may mga kaya yung mga kayang-kayang bilhin ng mga magulang yung
Oo. Tapos
gadget
yun na
ganun.
yung pinipre.
Pero pag sa Pilipinas pa rin, yung mga mahirap, syempre hindi naman makakaano, naglalaro pa rin sila sa labas.
Diba? Basta mahirap, mas maganda yun.
Yeah, oo.
Sabihin
Hindi,
mo, to be
nung
honest,
bata lang, to be honest, nung bata lang ako, naman yung around, 6 years old, ganun. Akala ko lahat ng tao sa Amerika blondie, literal.
Nakaka-shock na
Eyes.
na mixed culture,
Tapos
diba?
walang mixed culture, parang mga puti lang, tapos ganun. Ganun, mas open yung mga tao dito tungkol sa mga bagay na parang controversial sa amin sa Pilipinas. Oh, diba? Oh my gosh, background yun!
Tapos parang yung, di ba parang dito pas kailangan mo maging responsible kaysa doon kasi doon yung, parang dependent ka sa parents mo.
Yeah, family. Tapos, oh yeah! Ang difference din dito, pagka 18 ka na, shupi ka na.
Yeah.
You know, shupi ka na. Pero hindi depende rin sa pamilya mo
Yeah.
kung gusto ko nila i-keep, ganyan. Pero madalas yung mga puti, gusto nang lumayas sa pamamahay nila kasi gusto nila mag-isa.
And then sabi doon sa Pilipinas, pag lalabas ka, hindi masyado simple lang suot.
Yung mga kapitbahay
Oh,
nila.
yeah.
Parang here, parang kailangan mo maganda ang damit.
Hindi. Parang yung
parang
fashion
sa kanila.
mo.
Yung fashion mo.
Yung fashion mo
Ang
talaga,
iba.
pwede ka maging yung
Pati yung mga kapitbahay, di ba, kakilala sa
Yeah.
Pilipinas.
Hindi, kasi dito talaga, katulad ng mga damit ko ngayon, yung wari, naka boots. Malamang, hindi ka na mag-boots sa Pilipinas pag titinginan ka. Tapos parang, kapag ka mag-heels ka lang ng sa mall, hindi ka tulad dito, pwede ka mag-overdress sa mall, ganyan. Pero sa Pilipinas, kapag ka nag-overdress ka sa mall, Diyos ko, lahat ng mata sa'yo,
Oo.
judge ka na.
Isa, syempre doon, hindi yan kailangan ng winter clothes, di ba?
Oh,
Kasi
yeah.
Kasi
Hindi
ang
hindi mo
humid.
na kailangan ng sweater,
Ang
you
init,
know.
ang init sa
Palabas ng banyo.
Pang-fashion lang yung
Yeah.
sweater doon.
Yeah. Hindi,
Labas na
ang
pawis.
mga tao sa Pilipinas, gusto naman nila yung nakaporma sila yung mga jacket,
Yeah.
sweater, ganyan. Pero dito, ang gusto naman ng mga tao, yung mainit.
Summer
Kasi
clothing.
sawa na sila sa jacket.
Mm.
Ganun.
Growing up Chinese, I didn't really realize I was different until I'd say kindergarten, first grade, up to third grade actually. Before then, actually, my first language was Cantonese. I spoke that fluently at home, and I learned English during kindergarten. And my brother and I, we would just talk to each other in Cantonese all the time at school until my mom says around first or second grade I got bullied about it, and I refused to talk in Chinese at home. That's when I realized I was different and kind of tried to rebel against it, because in my mind, being different meant being bullied, meant being ostracized, and me already having kind of awkwardness growing in me at the time, it didn't really seem appealing then for me to continue speaking my language and following my culture in that way. So that already kind of was a difference for me. I don't know if that's directly answering the question, but that was actually really impactful for me because for a long time I didn't really hate Chinese, but I didn't particularly like being Chinese in a sense. In that sense, I wanted to be as American as possible. I wanted to be same as all my white friends. I wanted to be, Hispanics and blacks too, in all honesty, because I was inside more of a different neighborhood at the time. So I actually wasn't just whitewashed or anything like that. I was just around a lot of Americans. So I was exposed to a lot of actually different cultures because of it, which is kind of an interesting background to me. But yeah, strangely enough, I didn't really like mine particularly at first. But then, another thing that made me different is the fact that my mom, who's freaking awesome, every year until my brother graduated middle school, she would go to both our schools to teach our class about Chinese culture during Chinese New Year. I hated it at first. I hated having to dress up in traditional Chinese garb and sit inside class feeling stupid because everyone was looking at me weird, and then seeing my mom acting all goofy and everything. But after a while, I realized, Chinese culture was awesome and people liked it. She transformed all these kids from just thinking, wow, that's really silly, why are you dressed in that, to, wow, I really like your traditional Chinese clothing, I understand a little bit about your culture. And it's really weird how all this language differences work. Rhymes in Chinese don't make any sense in English, but Chinese people make that connection. Wow. And of course they eat food at the end, and they think Chinese culture is the best at that point because food is awesome. For me, my childhood was a mixed bag, in my opinion, of how I felt about my culture and how I felt about being Chinese. One thing that definitely did stick with me, though, is the cultural aspect outside of speaking the language. Traditional family values, a lot of the things are really just part of me at this point that I grew up with were really instilled in me by my parents, and they're Chinese and they're also Christian, so it's kind of a mix of both. But a lot of these ideals of the elderly and the youngest go first. If you are able-bodied, you should be taking care of those people in your family and then your immediate people next to them. Fighting for the check and all that. A lot of general politeness carries on from Chinese tradition for me. So that's another thing that differentiates my upbringing compared to many other people's.
May tito. Because wala lang, parang tinuruan niya ako kasi hindi maganda yung buhay nila dati, di ba? Si Tito Eric, kasi hindi maganda yung buhay nila dati. Parang gusto niya na magtrabaho para mag-provide sa family naman. Ikaw, my best friend.
Rosario, my best friend. Kasi, tama na ako ngayon sa Amerika. Tapos ayun natin mo, in-introduce pa niya ako sa mga friend lalo niya. Tapos sa kapatid niyang, super happy. Super happy! Ano yun?
Nagkaroon ka na ng half-sis.
Ay, tamang Leon, nagkaroon ako ng sister.
So I already mentioned my mom, and she's awesome for many more reasons than that, but I think I should talk about my dad as well and how he influenced me. Where I'm different from my mom, it's definitely from my dad. He's a pastor on the side, on top of being a substation manager working for NV Energy. He's worked for my entire life and worked hard. And unlike my mom, who's really loud, really energetic, really in your face, he's more reserved. He takes his time with everything, and he's a quieter guy. He doesn't like to, he just doesn't do much compared to my mom. Not in a bad way, but he's greatly influenced me just as a mentor, as well as just my father. He taught me a lot of the basic things that I just try to follow every day. Just simple sayings like give credit where credit is due. Respect is the one thing you should value above all others, and that finding a mentor in everything you do is possible and should be what you do in all things. He's taught me that I can learn from anyone on anything because generally no matter what, someone else is anyone else I meet will be better than me at something, and there's always something to learn from